annoying, I tell you. But it's fine. We're here now. So I'm dubbing it another Saturday day of play. I'm hoping we're starting with Phoenix right here. I need to finish this episode today. I think it's just this trial left. So that shouldn't be hard. Depending on how long it takes, maybe we move then into the next episode. I guess that'd be episode 4. That's how numbers work. But yeah, we'll see for sure. Yeah, we'll see. I think all 3 of the major games on the channel right now. I think it's the only 3 games I'm currently kind of like running on the channel right now. I think we'll be touched today. I think we're gonna do some Phoenix right here. I think I'm gonna do some Crash after that, and then we'll play into the night a bit with what's it called? Near Replicant, I think. And then we'll take stock, and then we'll see what we're gonna do tomorrow, potentially. Although I don't know if I'm gonna do an all-day stream tomorrow. I think that's not going to happen. Also, depending on how long we play, at some point in the break of one of those games, either in the break from this to Crash, depending on how long this takes, or from Crash to Near Replicant, I need to take an extended break. I'll keep the stream kind of like running, but I need to take like an extended break probably to like eat. But that just kind of depends on how the games go. January 8th, 9:46 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 1. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended on a giant mystery. That's true. We still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Should probably turn on a light. Let me see if I can reach the thing from here. Oi! Extension? Oh, it wasn't too hard. I was like, I didn't know how long my earbud cords were gonna go, and it was perfectly long enough. I was like concerned I was gonna be pulling on things. Are you okay, Nick? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I saw that. The little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger. Don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Hey, pal. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How do you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Oh. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this will help. He wants to give me random drugs to make me do better. Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. Come to think of it, it doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. This is a small bottle that turned up in the Trey Bien's kitchen a couple of days ago. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh yeah, I forgot mine in the little cute little maid outfit. Not maid. Cute little server? I don't know what the outfit would be called. Oh, the aromatherapy oils. It's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor. Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? It doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell good. It smells bad. What'd she say? It doesn't... I just like blanked on like... And it doesn't have a label either, and it doesn't smell. Okay. I thought there wasn't... I was like, it doesn't smell good, and I was like, there's not another word there. It doesn't smell. She was just saying it doesn't smell. We finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So, what is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication. Medication? Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. For ears? You mean... Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Elg's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Small bottle refilled and refiled, into the court record. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but... it's going to be weak in its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, got it? Today's trial. I'm gonna expose Eonop, that guy, for what he's done. Or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. Yeah. January 8th, 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Very good, then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. I forgot, don't remind me. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. Still such a bullshit fucking piece of evidence. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet, the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? Huh. Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Godot. It's a record. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You gotta change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to the... Oh, you know the answers to these riddles! The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off the scent. And today, I'll prove it. Very well. First witness, take the stand. Who is it gonna be? Oh, good. And you are? Okay, French accent. French downloading, French accent. Bonjour everyone. I am John Armstrong, the owner and the chef of the Tribulations restaurant. Encante, I don't know. Forgive me for asking, witness, but... Oh no, we're gonna approach problematic territory, aren't we? It's finally time for this game to be like, oh, here we go. Let's have some jokes at the expense of a character like this. Oh God. Okay. Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman? Oh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am le pet and perky gentleman, no? On the day of the incident, you were in Trebian's kitchen. Isn't that right? Who is you, monsieur? Everything feels right. Man, my French impression is so bad. Like, hearing myself do it makes me upset. Like, hearing it in my own ears. Huh. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Very well. Your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Trebian. Oui. Volunteers. Volunteers. Here we go. First testimony of the day. Let's fucking go. When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with this, with some new decor that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. 2 years of French are wincing. Mon frère! Mon frère! Like having a large... I just have to say some French words and then I'm in the groove. It's fine. Having a large mirror between la table, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. La cup, la ibis, and la glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, no? Mirror? Oui, un grand mirror, la most enormous mirror. And suddenly, the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. How would I explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum? The mirror would have made everything appear back to front. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Let's go! Alright. 3, 4, 5. Great. Hold it. And who were the two customers exactly? My... Of course, the young man who died. And the not so young man. I don't know what happened. You are referring to yesterday's witness, I presume. What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we? I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. You were experimenting with Art Deco? How come I never heard about that before today? You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur. Please stay on topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before? But I did, just a few moments ago. Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decoture? No, Art Deco is a style of design, Your Honor. Just talking about interior design, walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing. Oh, yes, of course. That deco. I'm still confused. I was trying to achieve a more la feminine look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of la decor. How big of a mirror are we talking about here? Both. Something about 4 meters wide and, about 2 meters high. Let's see, 1 meter by 1 yard. Holy glass in a frame, that's huge. I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually. The ceiling? Is there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. Nice, no. But I decided not to go through with it in the end. What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? Yes, you should, Phoenix. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies. You didn't ask, trite. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work. What? A mirror was delivered to Tribulations the day before the incident. Really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. It just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Tribulations, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. Huh. If you want to doubt someone, trite, look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough. So a witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror. Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object. Normally? How does normality come into this? That's lame, Trite. Even for you. Huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it is impossible? Is that it? Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here? Well, Trite? That's good lines. I do not have a top knot. Mr. Godot is correct. You've got a top knot. I see it. Nani nani boo boo. Lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument. Bien. Logic has won the day. Everything? He would have seen everything in reverse? Oui. Hey, Nick. We should take a second to think about what old CD said in his testimony. How did he phrase it again? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No, oh, I should be reading it as him.
No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand.
If he saw everything he described reflected in a mirror, then everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh? That clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it? Huh. It's kind of hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but... Do you think old CD saw everything through a reflection? If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony. But that just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We've just gotta dig deeper. Alright, let's look in the... Let's look in the testimony. Don't I have a testimony thing? This is... I broke the vase at my seat. This is not the full testimony. It is, in fact, it seems very unhelpful. Let's see. Oh, dude, I totally... Man, it's only been, like, since Wednesday. And I totally even forgot Viola was a character. I forgot this whole thing. Sometimes... This isn't an actual complaint. You know, all my other actual normal complaints I have with this game? This is just an observation. Cases introduce so many reoccurring and new characters that, like, I completely, like, I mean, it's not a bad thing necessarily, but I'm just like, oh yeah, like, Viola is a person in this. It's like, I totally, like, I'm thinking of the old dude, I'm thinking of the chef here, I'm thinking of all the recurring characters, and then I'm thinking of the nega Phoenix Wright. I'm not thinking of, like, Viola or the lady we saw at the tech company. Like, it's just, there's so much. There's so much. Okay, when all, what, there's something about the, alright, I gotta figure, I remember I was experimenting. I like having a large mirror. Okay. That's what the old man's looking at. Would have seen everything in reverse. I mean... Something about floor plans, maybe? Is this going to be talking about, like, science with mirrors? And the answer is going to be, like, something I'm just not thinking about because I don't have, like, a mirror in front of me so I can think about, like, what the mirror would actually do in a case like this. Because he was sitting across from the X, right? And where are they saying is the mirror? On the ceiling? Where's the mirror? What is... If he's just sitting... 2 customers. Remember I was experimenting. Great. Large mirror between the tables. I'm so... Large mirror between tables. So what, like... going horizontally across this room? So there's just like a mirror in between? Huh? Or does it mean like vertically? But again, the layout, if he was just sitting across, the wouldn't be affected. Maybe I present this to this statement. No. The answer is no. I'm an idiot. Okay, well. Fuck. starting off right. Where, like, having a large mirror, I need this presented. I'm not a good visual person. Perhaps that's what old man's looking at. Would have seen everything in reverse. Okay, just so, just so I can mark off the, this piece of evidence. Okay. Nope, nope, nope. Go away. Go away. Nope, like it never happened. Okay, I really hope, it's not another press thing, right? Because he was saying, Okay, his existence, hard evidence first before we can bring him up. Okay. I was maybe thinking maybe it's going to be one of those things that I hate where I have to go back to it. Experimenting with some new art. Large mirror between tables. Oh boy. I can't look up the answer this early. Got a large mirror. Where did it? Okay, I think I'm... But... Okay. Mirror was delivered. Really, as Mr. Armstrong, he's carrying out some design changes. And it turned out he didn't actually use the mirror. Doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant. Okay, so is it then... Okay, so I'm gonna guess... I mean, the crime scene photo, right? There's no mirrors in here. Crime scene photo, right? No mirror. Where would the mirror be? Where's the mirror? Where's the mirror? I can't believe I'm already... I don't think I'm wrong in my thinking. Like, I'm fucking... Like, there's no mirror. Where was the mirror? Where was the mirror? Alright, I gotta look up. Fuck it. Fuck it. What's the first answer here? What? Huh? What? The guide? What? Says on the final statement. For fuck's sake. I have to present this? I hate this. I hate this game. Ah, the profiles, of course. Yes. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? Fuck this game.
The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt.
So, to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in a mirror. It means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactamente, you see, Monsieur. Now that you think about it, it is not so hard, no? Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? That chef is caked up.
Order, Mr. Wright is correct. The witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror. Then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye.
How bitter. Trite, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee? Or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks.
How he thinks?
You remember this, I presume? The I broke the vase sorry apology Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg?
Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece.
And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh, yes, they were both on his left ear. Do you hear his left ear? Huh. Well, Trite? That's the worst, but best impression of Kudo ever. Wow, I really thought he was old Seedy for a minute there. Kudo's good.
Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears.
Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at le plans de le restaurant.
The plans?
Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably? La mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing these two halves.
See, this is what I need.
There's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of la victime. That was the seat of the table next to la victims. That was where old man was sitting.
Didn't he say he was sitting across, though?
After the terrible incident occurred, I moved la mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror. What a naughty little croquet I am, confusing all the men like this.
Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. Hate that guy.
You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? Volunteers, of course. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please.
Oh, yeah, we already. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the thing was, didn't at some point old man say he was sitting just across? So I don't know if that's gonna be a thing here, but. So, run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct?
Oui.
We? Really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way. Look who's talking, Trite. Huh? You're obstructing my view, among other things.
But, this is my seat in the courtroom.
Très bien's charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, Trite.
I tell you, monsieur, la mirror was there in the middle of the restaurant.
And where would that be?
Ooh la la, look how you lean towards me. I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer. Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once. I attract the older ones too, you know. Handsome, shall I tease you too? I'm feeling things.
I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time. There she is, mocha cream skin and cappuccino perfume. Thanks, Maya.
Bien, I will tell you, there was only one sea from which you could have seen.
So why can, you only see the victim from that particular seat?
Monsieur, it is obvious, no? If you look at the plans, you will understand. The victim would have been reflected in the mirror like so. If you were sitting at the table next to him, you would see everything, no?
So that's the seat old City was sitting out on, or sitting in on that day when the poisoning happened. Old man was sitting at the table next to the victim? No. Why does that seem kind of odd? Because it's wrong? I swear there was a point. I mean, I know my memory sucks, but I know there was at some point he said he was sitting just right across. So I just gotta probably find the evidence. Did you move the mirror while Mr. Kudo was off calling the police?
Oui, exactamente. Carried it out of the restaurant then.
You moved a huge mirror like that all by yourself.
What can I say? I know how to pick things up. Handsome.
Kudo actually laughed at something?
Well, given the witness's physique, I suppose it is possible. Look how muscular he is. Did you move anything else from the crime scene, Mr. Armstrong? I look like the oblong type, no?
Are you sure about that?
I touched nothing except la mirror. Mr. Wright, is there something the witness has said that doesn't match the crime scene?
Yeah, there is. I just can't put my finger on what exactly. Huh. Suffering from a case of heartburn, right?
Oh, is there such thing for that? An oil with golden mirror. Golden mirror. And Frankenstein.
Frankensteins. He's like saying them wrong. I don't know. Or maybe that's a weird way of saying those words. Add a few drops to your coffee and voila. Enjoy. Focus, Phoenix. Breathe. Need to ignore those two and just find some evidence. It's pretty strange though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. You'd think someone would have, but Maggie didn't, and neither did old City. And the only logical explanation is that there was no mirror inside Tribulations that day. I just gotta prove it, somehow. Okay. Is it that the vase there on the far left is not broken? Do you know what I'm saying? So if we're looking at this photo and the old man was sitting on that table on the left, then the vase would be broken. But it's not. Is that what this is? I assume that's where this is heading. After the turbo accident, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. God, I'm already like questioning everything, every decision I want to make, because I already took one hit. Did he move the paper because it was clearly not? That is, but I mean, it was moved. No?
No?
I don't need to look at like any of this stuff, I don't think. It's not this, right? Okay. I didn't like fully commit to that. So that doesn't count against me. I was just throwing it out there as a guess, you know? Just a random guess. After the terrible accident, I moved so it was not in the way. Okay, maybe it's this. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. Yeah! I put it together, baby! Your Honor, Mr. Kudo's words yesterday strongly contradict Mr. Armstrong's testimony.
This is a letter of apology that was written by Mr. Kudo, is it not?
I see, I think I was on the right track. I just had to figure out how to put, like, what item... I'm just going to basically explain the gameplay of this game. I just had to figure out, like, what item was exactly and what statement exactly was going to actually work there. I realize it looks useless, Your Honor, but this is still testimony. Huh. Guess useless people are only really good at identifying useless things.
What relevance does a scrap of paper have to the trial, Mr. Wright?
Mr. Kudo's testimony is actually very relevant to the question at hand, Your Honor. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. The picture... Okay, and then I show the picture, correct? Yeah, this piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor.
The crime photo!
Okay, I'm all coming up. See, I was curious how we were going to link, like, basically 3 things together. But it's giving me a chance here to do it. Okay. Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist.
What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright?
Should not exist? Huh. Sounds like you're describing yourself, Trite.
Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is the something that should not exist in this photo?
Boop. Boop. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. There's one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there's an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was, not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all. Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly. There is only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in the Tribune that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Mon Dieu! Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary. In his own words, I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Go.
Oh, witness, what do you have to say for yourself?
I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day.
In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which he couldn't hear?
Huh. You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trite, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table, and there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason. Why nothing in this case is adding up.
Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer.
Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. The ear doctor made a mistake? The victim was a phony? Huh? Huh? The victim was a phony. A phony? Mr. Kudo made a mistake? The ear doctor made a mistake? Why would it be? Why would it be? This is stupid. I mean, like, a harsh penalty. 3 life little segments. I don't know. The victim was a phony. Doesn't make sense. I don't know why. Ear doctor made a mistake. I don't know why. Kudo made a mistake. I'm just gonna guess this. Whatever. Clearly, Mr. Kudo made a mistake. Mr. Trite, you're the one who brought up all these contradictions. And if you're trying to tell us the old man just made a mistake, we can wrap up this case right now with a guilty verdict.
How about it, Mr. Wright? Should I just declare your client guilty?
Is that the best you can come up with, Nick? No, fuck off. Fuck off. I believe we're looking at this the wrong way. It was actually the doctor's mistake.
What?
Yes, the doctor got the wrong ear. Well, I believe we saw an autopsy report yesterday, one that stated the victim's left eardrum was ruptured and had medicine in it.
I'm beginning to wonder if it's not your eardrum that's ruptured, Mr. Wright.
No time to be So dumb. So dumb. The system sucks. I don't know if I'm ever going to play another, like, Ace Attorney game. I know there's more in the series and stuff. I really hope, for the sake of everyone who actually does enjoy these games and just video games in general, that they really, like, cleaned up this whole system of, like, penalizing and, like, just made it just much more quality of life better. Because it's stupid. The save scumming aspect, the health thing, I don't even know what you want to call it. The guilty meter. This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet, there's one very simple answer that clears them all up.
What is that?
The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were 2 completely different events. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. It's quite the claim.
Order! Order in the court. Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom.
Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh?
What did you say?
Trite, are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elk and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo. I don't know if it's being able to be picked up on mic, but there is some obnoxious car music being played outside that is driving me insane. I hate the people here. Oh god, I hate certain people. I hate certain people at my complex. So fucking obnoxious. I mean, again, this is my old man yells at clouds moment. If you're living in a community space and you're an asshole who just blasts music in the parking lot thing at an apartment complex for no real good reason, you're sitting in your car, like you're coming back or you're about to leave and you just sit there, you blast music, and you have one of those obnoxious sound systems in your car that you just have to like overcompensate for your extremely small penis. then you're an asshole. No two ways about it. Someone's got to say it. Get real, Trey. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was...
The serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well.
It's so hard to believe, but...
There was one, and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee. Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man story was a fake as well? Yes, I called this like so early ago. Once I saw the picture of the Viola, I was like, I know all the answers. We can wrap up the case now. I don't have to play another 2 hours here. It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but it's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening.
That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was a scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
Oh la la, this is most difficult for me.
No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Tribulations that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened.
Offense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day.
Oui.
La victime, Monsieur Erg, came into my restaurant alone. I remember...
Started going Australian for a sec.
I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word he won the lottery, well, Erg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for Phony to do the acting. Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all. Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly. What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later.
Oh, oui.
For now, we will hear your cross-examination. Mr. Wright, if you please.
He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. Alright, here we go. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's what I thought. Was he alone at his table as well?
Mas, oui. I saw him from la kitchen.
Yet the defendant, Ms. Bird, remembers it quite differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table. Ha! Unfortunately for you, Trite, yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite. What kind of coffee has he been drinking? It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet. Hearing Maya say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct?
Oui. He comes often for my special coffee.
I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special. I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience.
Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You're most welcome anytime.
I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more. So old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. How many minutes after? So you're saying that not much time elapsed between when the victim and Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oui, that is correct.
But that still leaves the possibility that something happened in that gap of time. And by your recollection, how much time would you say elapsed?
Let me see. Approximately 2 minutes, I would say.
2 minutes? That's all?
Seems unlikely anything untoward could have happened in such short time.
Rats. Knew I shouldn't have pursued this line of questioning. I should ask the other question then, right? What time is it? Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oh, no. Cannot remember, monsieur. Believe we were told by a witness yesterday. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir.
Does that perhaps...
Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness? The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. The victim must have arrived between 2 o'clock p.m. and 2:10 p.m., no?
Just after 2, huh?
Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful. Ha ha ha! I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? Time of day will be added to the witness's testimony. Oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do it for you. Merci bien. That's French, isn't it?
At least one person is in a good mood. He's even humming a song to himself. Are you absolutely sure about the time?
When I think really hard, I am sure it's just after 2. Oui. It is the time to stop serving the lunch menu. Quite right. I always break for lunch when the restaurants are serving their specials. I've been known to wind up a case early just to make it on time. Bad.
Guess you should never get between a hungry judge and his lunch.
Oh, would you look at that? It's almost lunchtime already.
Witness, get on with your testimony, please. So your only customers were Mr. Kudo and the victim. How many times do you need to ask the same thing, Trite? You'd never catch me drinking the same blood twice. Huh? You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant, but you're wasting your time. You can't grind birdseed to make coffee, if you catch my drift. But there's a hole in his testimony somewhere, I'm sure of it. Did you see him?
No. I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, "Yes! $500,000!
Presumably the defendant heard that too. Then, correct?
Maggie? She looked like a poor little frightened dove.
And what about Mr. Kudo?
The old man choked on some bird seeds that got stuck in his throat. Seems we now have yet another incident on our hands.
And what were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill.
I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur.
Sorry? What do you mean?
There's the renowned chef, Jean Armstrong, and the tragic poet, Clarice Armstrong. Clarice? Oui, is writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef and $500,000 a day. Cooking for a man who won $500,000 on the lottery. It is called Pourquoi? It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for la cour.
Please don't. So you mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred?
I asked an old man to call from Le Payphone.
By your own argument, Trite. The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear.
Indeed. Bien. Seems the shadow of doubt has been lifted. N'est-ce pas?
Guess Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case, huh? Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Elg, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all. But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too? He fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember? Ah, I mean that's when the phony staged its act. We'll know for sure once I find a hole in this testimony. Monsieur Elg. I remember Old Man arrived not long after him, just after 2 p.m. Is this? I just was like trying to think of... Is it this? Oh, I thought this might have it because it had like a time, like me. Oh, millionaire, just after 2 p.m. Bam. I just had to find a thing at a time, son. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. Quoi? Pourquoi? What do you mean? At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket. Oui, that must be the show Mo Elk was listening to. I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct? Oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving lunch menu. Get to the point, Wright, if you have one. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m., and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air 1:30. Now, supposedly, victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. No! This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over, only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elgs in Tribulations that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glen Elg, acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy? Quite a performance, Wright. You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. What is this? Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony Elg is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at the time the real Glen Elg was already dead. That's certainly the obvious conclusion. Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours? Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elg, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body? Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence? What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? Thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead. Well, Mr. Wright, court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. L concealed? How the fuck would I know? I'm gonna say outside. Clearly, there's no place to hide a body inside Tribulations. Therefore, killer must have hauled the body outside. Oh, I see. Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was taken out of the restaurant? fucking... The apron? I don't know. Evidence that proves the body was taken out of the restaurant. Can't save. Oh boy. MC bomb, paper bag, calendar, prescription bag. I don't think I have anything. I might just have to take a hit here. I'm gonna choose bike. Too bad. I don't think you'll ever grasp the real heart of rock and roll. What are you talking about?
He means that your evidence is irrelevant, Mr. Wright. Get fucked.
Come on, Nick. You gotta think it through. Okay, well, I'm trying. I don't think I have any evidence that shows it would be hidden inside of the place either, though. Feel the beat, and then hit him with some heavy metal. Okay, I need to calm down and get my facts straight. What should I do now? Start over. I think I need to clear my head. Huh. Say it's already empty, trite.
I'm inclined to agree.
Yo también. That's Spanish. What's with the Spanish all of a sudden? Yo también.
Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence.
Okay, I don't know if any evidence I shows would be outside. Let's say inside then. Okay, it would have had to been dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, body must have been hidden somewhere inside Trabian.
Interesting. Where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the body was concealed inside Trabian, I'm gonna say the kitchen. The body was hidden here.
I see.
Nice supposition. The real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? Hidden in the kitchen. I'm gonna say it's the food, and that's why it tasted bad. Oh, what if that was the answer? No, that would be really crazy, right? Too crazy. That wouldn't show anything. I don't fucking know what to do. I don't know what to do. The victim got this from the doctor. Bag is empty. This is the only thing I can think of. Found covered in unidentified fingerprints in the kitchen. I don't know. Is that right? Huh. Huh. Alright, let's hear it. Let's hear it, game. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle?
No. I've never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me. Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright?
Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Trabian.
Eh? Quoi? But I only ever use the bottles for my aromatherapy oils.
But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication.
What kind of medication?
Sure everyone remembers, don't they? And Mr. Oak visited an otolaryngological not this word again, otolaryngological clinic and was given medication that day. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. Can't believe I got this correct. I mean, it was the only thing I had technically, but it seems so unlinked. Contents of the bottle match the prescription. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, maybe it'll be explained, but like, okay, I'm trying to prove that the dead body was taken into the kitchen. Just because the bottle is in the kitchen doesn't mean that would mean... I'm sure, whatever. Contents of the bottle match the prescription that was given to Mr. L. Glenn Elk's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. That's quite the claim. Mr. Armstrong? When the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen?
Mon Dieu.
Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back.
No. No.
Sorry.
Order, it's an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elk?
Never. Could not do such an horrible thing. No. The fuck?
Mr. Godot.
The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. You have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, cheap chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my H-deficient friend?
Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must hear me out. It is the trap. Listen to me. Por favor. Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor Spanish. Por favor.
I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it?
No. Absolutely no.
Let's hear it. You've got one shot, right, Gramps?
Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you, as does my gavel.
Oi.
It is clear.
What do they always say in the movies? Got a bad feeling about this?
Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
Okay. Armstrong, let's go. The confession. This is part 2 of my confessions.
It is true. I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear. You must believe me. You were forced by who? I cannot say, or I will be erased.
Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table?
There was a ghost that appeared. There was another man.
I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth.
You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright.
Just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy. Get him to tell us the name of the real killer. Here we go. This is where we get the phony guy. Did you carry the body by yourself?
Oui, I carried him, and I carried Maggie too.
Maggie too?
When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. could not leave her there. But why did you hide the bodies? What man? Who was he? No, I cannot say. I fear for my life. He's really scared. You'll just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick. Yeah, you're right. If you won't tell me, I'll tell him. But why would you go along with this man? And what reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong? You know, monsieur. Yes? Surely you cannot expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment. A maiden? You're a bit old to get away with that. And a bit too male. I can't finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason. So I just have to prove it with evidence. I had to go along with him because there was a reason. I mean, it's not really contradiction, and that's just... If I show, like, the loan contract thing here, that's not... Whatever. It's not a contradiction, it's just me saying this. This is the thing you're not saying. Whatever. So, you are claiming that all you did was hide the bodies. Is that correct? Oui, that's right. If we are to believe you, Mr. Armstrong, you must tell the court everything. You must make clear the identity of the man who ordered you to do this. He's already confessed this much. You might as well stop dancing around the real issue. Yeah, but he really doesn't want to tell us who the killer is. Then sock it to him, Nick. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let's fucking go. I should save before I do something bad. Before I think I'm so correct in what I'm doing here, and then. Present. Contract. Baby! You have $500,000 debt, don't you? $500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong? Oui. Je suis désolé. I was weak, and I borrowed the money. This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man. Old bags! A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you. My nega self. Oui, it is as you say. Excuse me, as you say. Mr. Armstrong. La Tiger. He told me I was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim to demand as he repays the loan. I don't know why I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried the body and the inconscient Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen. I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre. Tigre. Do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. Poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well? No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Mac who had done it. I was not. It is despicable. Despicable. Despicable? Mr. Godot. You will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. "30 minutes. What? The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. This is real life. This guy, Furio Tigre, would be on the run. If this is real life, he'd be like, oh shit. How the... Don't sit back and relax yet, trite. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Alright, let's save.
Okay, I'm gonna take a very, very quick break. I'm gonna just get some water and restroom. So, little stretch, little BRB. I'll be right back. I'm back. Here we go. Alright, I assume this is going to be the final part based on how this game usually sets these things up. Or final, final bit of this trial. You know what I mean. Alright, let's go for it. Did I save? I don't know. We'll do it again just for luck here. Alright, so I assume I lose my French accent. And now I get to do my Brooklyn Northeastern accent. How exciting. January 8th, 1:21 p.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 1. So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth.
You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying?
I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. Get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need.
Hey, pal.
Detective Gumshoe. What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end.
Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Topknot.
It's not a top knot.
Never mind the hair.
Oh, never mind the hair. Just calm down, all right?
I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kinda get wound up.
No kidding.
Got something you need me to do, pal? Anything?
Well,
Hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. Could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour.
an hour? Trial will have reconvened by then.
But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right?
True. That's some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag. We're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour.
You bet.
In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this?
Oh, hey, that's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right?
Yeah. I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to.
Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too.
Small bottle given to Detective Gumshoe.
Okay, get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back.
Are we gonna have to do the stalling game again? It's pretty much the final showdown, I guess.
It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys.
Thanks, Maya. January 8th, 1:56 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tigre?
Okay, just in case I need it. Go to the next page of the guide. I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Tamed him? Guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites.
Great. Very well. Please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. Oh, he's sunburned, I see. He needs SPF 59.
Oh, I missed what he's... Dude, I love auto-scrolling text. Alright, let me see what he said. I was trying to make a shitty joke. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Okay, whatever. Grrg.
Ah!
Don't hide under the table, Maya. Unless there's room for me down there, too.
Would you mind?
What you say to me?
Nothing. I didn't say nothing. Honest.
Could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge. I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? This is bad. Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was the judge. Your Honor?
Oh dear. I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal.
That's it. We're doomed. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What'd you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. Oh boy. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Grr. Too cool.
Don't let him get the better of you, Nick.
Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct?
Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, masked boy.
You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird?
Maggie who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder.
Phoenix Wright. You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Gulp. Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. What? Get a grip, Nick. She says from under the table. Tiger's alibi. Let's go. Brooklyn accent. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. Got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. You just want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Oh yeah, Violetta, the one I forgot.
At last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright, your
Arg.
Oh, what is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that.
I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000. You's gonna borrow the cash from me. That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. You don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. I love a good spectator sport.
Just a minute. That's really not.
This witnesses, how can I put it, a hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side, and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours, too.
Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. Penalty game. Yous better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. Court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Oh, shit. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick. Come out from under there already, would you? Maya? Oh, wait, so do I really get penalized if I press? Spent all my time in my office. I got whales lined up, borrow cash from tender lender every single day. You want to check my ally? Just ask Violetta. So wait, do I really get, like, lose health if I press on anything? Are you sure about that? I'm talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? She's talking about Viola Cadaverini. She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was.
That seems like a rather sketchy schedule.
Grr. There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder, so now what? So the health is flashing. I'm afraid. So maybe it's only when I press harder. What did you want? And then I'm wrong. If you wouldn't mind going to a bit more detail. This is a dead-end trite, and you know it. Remember the rules. No, it's essentially that we establish the witness's alibi accurately.
I agree.
Victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. Never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before.
I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could please.
Mr. Tigre, court asked you to add that last statement to your testimony. Huh. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. Wait, did I just automatically find the thing? Never saw that kid before? Presenting the fucking calendar. Fucking awesome. I'm so good. at this game. Don't pay attention to any previous streams of this game. I'm just very good at this. Mr. Tigray, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glen Elg, but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd.
December 3rd? That's the day of the murder.
So, Mr. Tigray, submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glen Elg, because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Oh shit. Ha 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 ha. Not bad. You's actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with yous to see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. It's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth.
Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated.
Just calling me a liar? Is that what you're doing?
Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. I'm Scooby-Doo.
So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You's better believe that's the truth. Huh. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigray.
Oh, yes. Would you mind indulging the court, witness?
You never actually met the victim? It's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. Let's nail him. The victim, Glen Elg. I ain't no liar. I never met Glen Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though, wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy in my office, Tenderlander. Waited around for him, but he never ever showed up. Ain't never showed up. Ain't ever. Close enough. I ain't never been to that. I can't read this. I ain't never even been to that Trace Bien joint. Use here? He would mispronounce Trabian. He wouldn't know how to say French.
I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up.
I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead.
Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you, right? Grr. Grr. Victim, Glen Elg. Alright, so we have 3, 4, 5 statements here. I should probably save just in case, because of this weird penalty system we got going. I never met Glen Elg. Wanted to borrow cash. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office. I wait around for him. I ain't never been to that Trabian joint. Use here. I assume this is probably going to be the thing to go off. Dare I just cut straight to this one? Or do I already have a piece of evidence that shows that's false? If there was, it would be something like... where did the doodle thing go? Contract, one special. Oh, it's here. It's at the very beginning. Something along these lines. Never? Not even once? Not even once. I was in my office that day that went down. Didn't put no poison in no kid's coffee. Capiche? Do you think you really didn't meet Glen Elg? Not likely. Because I'm convinced this guy's behind the whole thing. So you mean that whole testimony he just gave was a lie? Of course. So we can't afford to give him time to think of ways to plug the leaks in it. Gotta nail him while I still can. Okay, so I'll go back here. We'll just do the pressing. And yet, your name was written on the victim's calendar. Get that horse calendar out of my face. I'm the tiger, not a lame horse, you porcupine. Tigers like to eat meat. Tigers like me eat horses like that for breakfast.
No, no, no. Witnesses aren't permitted to eat evidence. Not that they ever would. Well, there was a case once where a young lad ate. Anyway, if you had never met the victim before, how do explain? How do explain this note he left? Oh, was it Phoenix that ate the evidence a while back? That's what he's referring to, right? I remember the beginning of this game. Sorta. That's very strange. According to the manager of the firm where the victim worked, December 3rd was the date he had to repay his loan. He wasn't due to discuss borrowing money, but repaying what he owed. Oh, yeah, maybe you was right. Whatever it was going down at the beginning of December. So you did meet Mr. Elk, then. Comma then. Hey, right, yous wanna make cool in your jet, yous might wanna cool your jets a sec. So your meeting wasn't supposed to be at Tribulations then? Why would I want to go to a dump like that? If I want to talk with my clients, I got an office decked out for the job. Got the best punching bag you've ever seen in there. Exactly a professional office you got there, you know? So you were in your office on the day in question. He didn't show up? Huh. What do you think, Trite? Let's see. How does a dead man get from a French restaurant to a loan shark's office? And you yourself didn't go to Tribulations? What are you trying to pin on me here? Why don't you come down to my office? We can chat about this thing my way, yeah? I got the best punching bag you've ever saw in there. No need. I'm good. Thanks. Listen up. I ain't got nothing more to say except this. Okay. So I just need to find a wait around for him, but he ain't ever showed. This seems like the most, like, the statement that you would think, like, oh, that's got to be some contradictions in there, you know? He's never been to that Tribune. Set up a meeting with the guy at my office. Or is it meet with the tiger, paper badge, potassium cyanide. Crime photo. Victor's testimony. Scooter. Lunch special. Matches used for advertising found lying in tender lender. Oh, is it gotta be this then? Matches used for advertising? I mean, it's kind of phony, but I mean, it's like the only thing I can think of. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What you talking about? What you talking about, Wills? Oh, what a reference. Okay. We found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from that restaurant. What? If you've really never been to Tribulations before. What was the book of restaurants matches doing on your desk? You've been snooping around my stuff now too, wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. Yeah, I'm a broad. Order! Order! Well, witness, I think it's time you start telling us the truth, don't you? Sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But, okay. I was at the joint that day. What? But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. This close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Elg that day, and he did put poison in his coffee. He must have.
third testimony already? Jesus. We're speeding. Okay, at Trabian.
I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. Figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. Heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. If I wait around here any longer, I ain't gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions.
Huh. No problem. Anytime Trite presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty.
Mr. Godot, that's my job.
Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it.
Yes, sir. The Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so yous know since yous paying.
Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? Bwah, bwah. Camera zooms in on him. Alright, here we go. Let's go again. I should probably save. Extra careful. Although I gotta say, I feel like last couple of examinations I've done pretty excellent on. I've had some luck.
So the meeting wasn't due to take place at Tender Lender at all then? The kid was making a fuss about coming into the office. It's always that way when I want to talk about repayments. Even though I got the best punching bag you've ever seen if there's any issues.
Why do we keep talking about the punching bag? Maybe it's because of the punching bag that people are scared to come. So that's why you decided to meet at Trabian? Huh. You're going over old ground again, Trite. Sorry. You just earned yourself a penalty. Now suck it down.
You will suck down the penalty, Mr. Wright, and you will like it.
That's a weird phrase, but okay. Allow me to suck down the penalty. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Okay. I will no more sucking down, please. When I opened the door of the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. Figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. Figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. Cop sirens? I'll just continue. An ugly scene? What do you mean? The witness has already told us, Trite, which makes that question irrelevant.
But...
I limit myself to 17 cups of coffee during a trial. That's the rule. You better limit the number of times you take a penalty, Trite. Or your guts will look like the inside of a chimney, Ashton!
Don't make me burn you again, Mr. Wright. Suck it down again. Fuck.
Okay, well, that's two things I should not have pressed on, I guess. So I'm just gonna go back like that. What is the lethal dose of caffeine? That's what I'm curious about. How much? Let's do a quick Google search, yeah? There's gotta be some amount, right? Lethal dose of caffeine. Let's see here. First link that comes up, poison control. Just poison.org. Here we go. This is a good link. Something about caffeine. I'm not gonna be able to find something easily right now. I don't know. Maybe that'll be some outside research I do. What is the? Maybe you can't, or maybe I bet you can. There's got to be some certain amount of caffeine, just straight caffeine, some amount you can take. That's like, I'm sure there's gonna be some adverse effects you have before actually dying. But Alright, let's just keep pressing then. You mean you saw Glen Elg's dead body?
I guess I did, but I only saw him from behind. He was wearing some raggy bit of cloth he called a hat.
And what time was this? I don't know. Huh?
You know what winds me up more than anything else in this world? Watches. Round watches. I ain't gonna pollute my paws with some ticking henpecker. Out of interest, Mr. Tigre, what winds you up in the second most? Huh? What'd you think? Square watches.
Is this guy for real?
Look, all I need to know was that something bad was going down in that place.
Okay, so no penalty at least. Thank goodness. So you didn't actually set foot inside the restaurant then?
The tiger's a busy cat. I don't hang around for no one. I ain't got time to be caught up in no murder investigation.
So when exactly did you pick up the matches? There are matches just inside the front door. Our detective friend wound up in trouble with the chef after taking 5 books home. Poor Gumshoe. It's almost enough to make a man cry. Wait, is he so strapped for cash he was taking matches? Is that what I'm believing? You went straight back? Did a bout of guilt suddenly hit you for what you did?
What are you trying to say? You trying to tell me yous ain't never been guilty of nothing?
We all have our crosses to bear. We all have to swallow the dark secrets we hide. Like this. Courtroom's not exactly the place to talk about dark secrets, is it?
It seems you've done it again, Mr. Wright. Another irrelevant line of questioning. Get fucked. I must impose a penalty. Accordingly.
What a penalty for those 2 jokers in the garbage they keep coming up with.
Well, Nick, what do you think?
He's running out of ways to avoid the truth. I need to press him fast before he has time to think things through. Gotta come right back at him with a contradiction.
Be careful what you press him on, though, or you'll get penalized, okay?
Wait, I did press on everything. Where the place was... When I opened the door... What do I have? When I open the door of the joint... But, I actually have no fucking idea where to go here. Loan contract. Floor plans. I mean, that's not gonna be a thing. Died of potassium cyanide poisoning. I don't think it's gonna be that. Apron, potassium cyanide. I have no fucking idea. I did press on everything, right? Oh, it's gonna be annoying if this is like one of those... Gotta press on a thing like 2 times over or something. Or go back to a statement after you've pressed already once. I don't think that's a contradictable statement. When I opened the door of the joint, I saw an ugly scene. So this is claiming that he was dead by the time he got there, but I don't think I have something that proves... I was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. Figured this place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be... It's not contradictable, I don't think. Heard the cop sirens on my way out. I went straight back to my office. Fuck. Laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I mean, there he is, laying out on table. I honestly have no idea. Is it gonna be a profile thing? I don't think so. All right, I have to look at the answer. I have to. I can't do it. Okay, it says something about. Okay, I guess I sort of get this. Yeah, the thing is, I was not thinking about. It's another layout thing. And the reason, this isn't necessarily the game's fault. This is more my brain fault. If in a case, we've used these floor plan things so fucking often. But I guess what it's gonna say here, I just looked at the answer part. I didn't see the explanation, obviously. But I assume he just walked in, and if he just walks in, then he wouldn't have been able to see the table that the guy was sitting at. Which makes sense. But I just wasn't thinking about the floor plans because we've now, I feel like, I've used the floor plans as a piece of evidence a million times already. Alright. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre? No one escapes the tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Trite? A new line of irrelevant questioning. These are the floor plans of the crime scene. If you say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre, from there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this.
Indeed, witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat.
Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition.
Why? That's true.
Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So, from the entrance of Tribulations, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day, because you met with him.
Objection.
Man, I still miss, Mr. Von Karma's so much. To this day, it's still the best objection noise. I probably in my head, you know, it's like a fishing story where you keep making the fish bigger and bigger. I think in my head, I keep thinking of that objection being like more and more distorted than it actually was. Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table. But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim, witnessed by Mr. Kudo, was not Glen Elk, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade.
That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glen Elk, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright revealed the identity of his criminal to the court.
Boop, boop, boop. I mean, I assume it has to be him, right? Because I assume what's going to happen is I'm going to claim it's him, and then he's going to be like, they'll be like, how can we say he impersonates people? And then I'm going to have to spend like another chunk of the trial here being like, look, he impersonated me. Remember that thing that we all admit had happened quite some time ago when you guys said it was me and you guys are fucking idiots? You fucking idiots. Obviously, the killer is Furio Tigre. No one else could have done it.
What? Well, witness?
Grar ha ha. Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger?
Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. So I dares you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts. You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigre. It's a defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright. Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You've got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone.
Huh. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment.
Mr. Godot.
Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see just the victim. Oh, no, no, no.
The servant girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there.
I don't want to do Kudo voice anymore. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains, he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee.
Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee. Very impressive, Mr. Godot. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack.
Huh. Found your pen at last, Trite? It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed 2 people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenelg, and the waitress from behind.
Yes, your point, Mr. Wright.
I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenelg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show.
What? You mean waitress was an imposter as well?
The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her.
Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed?
Oh, it's gotta be Head Wound Girl. Viola Cadaverini. Yes, present.
Who is this woman?
Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tender Lender.
You was making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight, if you know what I mean. Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I?
Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had a kind of cackling laugh. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And Mr. Furio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you. Is you.
Witness, what have you got to say?
That's cute.
Sorry.
You's alright. I could do with a guy like you around. I feel like anytime I can hear my phone like do a thing while I'm streaming, I always goes and then I just like instinctively go back to it. As if I'm having a short little convo with my phone. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have a charter jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? You's got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But you's missed one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him. You see her?
You expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre?
Huh. What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony.
Indeed. Witness, you explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Tribulations between yourself and the victim?
Is this the final testimony?
Oh shit. Ties to the victim. Yeah, I loaned El cash, about $100,000. That day, we was due to have a little chat. Kid had hit his paycheck date, you see, or payback date, you see. So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won, have $1 million. He got lucky, you know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she done, everything would have been over. Now, I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. Elk was $50,000. Yeah, well, you've got the VIG.
You've got the VIG to take into account. VIG? What? VIG? I don't know that as a word. That's a term. Whatever. Interest builds up fast, you know? That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice as principal. It's almost as much as what Griff does student loans.
And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. You got that $500,000 just in time. So, I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case.
His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 statements. Fun. Did he have any way of paying the loan back?
The fool was a gambler. He said he couldn't give it up till he landed a big win, so I agreed to help him. Help him? You? I kept hitting him with ideas for ways he could get a big win, but the guy kept losing.
So you were helping him for his sake, or yours?
Win through compromise. You help me, I help yous. What's the difference, huh?
I don't believe this.
Nick, would anyone really ever loan money to someone they thought was unreliable? Like, for example, if it were you, I'd only loan you $5 max.
Thanks a lot, Maya. Asshole. Thanks, Maya, for your help. So how much were you expecting him to pay you back on that day?
What do you think? Whole package, $100,000 including the interest. That's a real heavyweight punch. Once a client misses a repayment, you call a whole loan in. You want to make it into my world? It's all you've got to know. And how many times had Mr. Elk been late with his repayments?
Once. And how much was he supposed to pay back every month?
$50.
Sounds like Mr. Elk was in a really sticky spot. Yeah, $50 a month, he'd never pay that huge loan off. Yeah, I mean, based on that interest, you'd be paying $50 for the rest of your life. Press. I was about to read the line again. How much did he have left on his debt?
You want in round figures? About $100,000.
That's the whole amount. We're talking about a guy who had 58 cents in his wallet.
What? You telling me he wasn't even gonna pay for the coffee? He certainly seems to have been a brave man, this Mr. Elk. Guy was smooth, I tell yous. Real smooth. You'll have your money in less than 5 minutes. That's what he says to me. Guy then calls me the tender tiger. He was skating on thin ice with me.
Was that because the guy won the lottery? It was his last chance at a big win.
And you can confirm that this is the ticket in question?
That's it.
The Millionaire radio show starts at 1:30 p.m. and runs for 10 minutes. That fixes the time you two met with some accuracy.
The whole scene was acted out again 30 minutes later. Also that Mr. Kudo would see it.
I can still see the kid's face now. Ain't never gonna forget it.
Was there anyone else in the restaurant at that time? I don't remember. If there was no one there, I'll wear that ridiculous tiger shirt for a month. Mr. Armstrong, Maggie, and if I'm right, Viola Cadaverini were all there at that time.
So, Victim had intended to repay you from his lottery winnings from the beginning? Question mark.
Seems that way to me.
But you wouldn't normally expect to win the lottery, would you?
Huh. The undying belief that your next roll will end the worst losing streak you ever had. That's what defines a true gambler. It makes it sound so cool.
Don't be tempted, Nick. You haven't got the willpower for it. All I know is the kid took a shot and he got lucky in the end.
The waitress. You mean...
The girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't gotten in the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with.
Oh, he said bada bing, bada boom. He's a true Brooklynite. Ask about what Maggie did. Ask how things would have been. Here we go. What exactly are you implying the defendant did?
How about you go ask Four Eyes about that $500,000 ticket? She wanted so bad. She poisoned Elk's coffee.
A likely theory. Your word hasn't held water lately, Mr. Tigre. Let's not forget this sorry, wrong voice. Let's not forget this witness was actually at the scene. Trite.
Well, it doesn't exactly agree with some of the deals I sent down. Couldn't be there when the cop showed up, so I split. Oh, I see.
Your Honor, the witness's last few statements are worth a good 2 cups of coffee.
I concur, Mr. Godot. You will amend your testimony accordingly, witness.
So that's what you's after, Phoenix, right? So we amended this last statement. The tiger's trying to pin the crime on Maggie. If I ask him about what he saw, it's only going to damage our case. What do you mean things would have been over and done with?
Are yous all there? What? Talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Well, Mr. Wright, are you happy with the testimony, or would you like to it amended?
Have it amended. Whatever that means. Not going to get anywhere with the testimony as it stands. Your Honor, it's this game, whenever it presents, it's like, it's weird. It's a weird gameplay thing where it's like 98 times out of 100, I'll say, is like, if the game asks you, hey, would you like to do a thing or absolutely do not a thing? Then it's like, of course, I'll do the thing. Like, fucking, why would I not do the option you're giving me? It's such a weird gameplay quirk where it's just like, many times in the series, it's but like, do you wanna do a thing, or do you not want to do a thing and then just sit there on your hands like you're a fucking idiot? It's just strange. It's such a bizarre way of handling it. Your Honor, the defense would like the testimony amended.
Very well. Witness, you'll amend your testimony to reflect your recent statements, please.
So it changed again? Did I press on this? How many statements do I have now at this point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I already do this? Okay, we definitely did. Okay. Press on this then? The twice amended statement? Are you saying you had no other motives that day?
Yeah, so what?
Then why didn't you take the lottery ticket when you left?
Why do you think? Because of Four Eyes over there. Because of Maggie. How about you go ask Four Eyes about that $500,000 ticket? She wanted so bad. She poisoned Elk's coffee. A likely theory. Wait, we've already... I don't... Your Honor... Okay, so... Have it amended. So... So I can just keep flipping this thing back and forth? Is that what's happening then? Okay, so if this is a thing that can be flipped back and forth, I would assume it's the phrase that needs to have a piece of evidence reflected at it. My business with that kid was over. What does that mean? But what does that mean? Unless I need to press again and ask the other question. Is there to get my... I don't know what the fucking intention of this thing is. I better leave it at that and try to figure something out. So the tiger was meeting Glenn Elk to get his money back. If Mr. Elk had just given him the lottery ticket, that would have been the end of it. Yeah, so what's the tiger's motive? This is the big one. If I don't manage to undermine this testimony, it's all over for us. Why would he have to poison Mr. Elk? And why did he loan him the money in the first place when he knew he couldn't repay him? Okay, there's got to be something. Let's see. I'm gonna assume then it's the... I mean, it's kind of like the section of the evidence that we haven't really touched yet. Well, there's two, right? There's like this paper badge thing and like the proof that's like, oh, you impersonated me or something. But it's gonna be this virus thing because it's potentially worth millions of dollars, right? I have a fucking brain blast. Brain blast. Computer virus made. Yeah, I'm gonna assume it's this. No? No? Fuck. Okay, do I need to flip the statement then? What was the other thing? Fucking hell. Have it amended. Go. Oh. Okay. I should save just in case, but fuck this. Fuck this game. Dude, I need to go back through this whole series of me playing this game and just find every video. Like, how many times do I really say, like, fuck this game? I just wonder what the count is at this point. Alright, we did it. Yay! So, you just intend to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elk owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right. Unfortunately, okay, so it's gonna say, so he intentionally loaned him the cash, knowing he wasn't gonna be able to repay him back, so that he could have this chance to kill him and take the thing. That's worth millions of dollars, apparently. Unfortunately for Mr. Elk, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after.
Objection!
What are you getting at, Trite? What else would a moneylender be after other than money? Oh, the moneylender was after money. But money in a totally different league. Kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch. What is that newfangled thing? Computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber. A computer virus? What the fuck is that? What does one of those do? Computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. A computer? What does one of those do? This beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point.
A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market.
Several $1 million?
Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glen Elk had no way to repay the money is crucial.
What?
Glen Elk was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elk put up in order to borrow the money.
Objection!
You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get hold of that program? Exactly. The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he's by no means an idiot, Wright. A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder. Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear.
It seems you have logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share with us? Why did Mr.
Oh, should I saved? Oh shit, I can't save. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I better get this right. Why did Mr. Tigre need money to the tune of $1 million? $1 million. Oh shit. Do I need to show the profile? Do I show him? Oh fuck. Oh no, if I pick wrong, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die and get sent back far. No. No. Oh. All right, no, we should be fine. I was like looking through and it's like just the $1 million bill for cranial surgery. Payment was due last year. All right, I'm gonna say with confidence. In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? Man, the most real part of this is gonna be like the unfurling of the part where it's like, yeah, you fucking caused the injury to the Viola person, Violetta, and then you like weirdly seduced her and her grandfather for some reason and partnered up with her to make some kind of arrangement to some kind of weird deal to, I don't even know. I mean, I assume we're gonna be told, but it's like gonna be some weird ass like you roped her into this thing. She clearly didn't know that it was him who caused the accident, and then like the grandfather was like,
Oh, you'll take my granddaughter's hand and pay me back somehow. I don't fucking know.
just whatever. An accident involving a car and a scooter, in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital, where she underwent surgery. Brain damage. How much of this do you know? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full.
$1 million? A preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs.
Huh. No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me.
Order! Order, order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright.
Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Did you say Cadaverini? Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? Makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact,
that you decide to sacrifice Glenelg's life to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on the CD. Glenelg had no way of repaying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I. The lottery win. Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elk won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. He murdered Glenelg, and then made his next move, to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glenelg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. Oh, I'm so glad I don't have to go through the whole, alright, now pick the person who acted as Maggie Bird, and then I gotta scroll over to her and be like, it was her. I think maybe I already did that. Take it back. I think I did that 30 minutes ago, so it's fine. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kuda. Like I said, Trey, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it. But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Goodell? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan. Order! Order! Silence or oh god! Gar ha ha ha. Yous put on a good show, Spiky. If yous want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, create a witness, and frame someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. Hey, another one, Mr. Wright. Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Trite? What was this trick you say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused? Oh shit, I'm gonna just fucking... Is it this? It's gotta be this, right? It's gonna be this, or it's gotta be... this. But I'm gonna say... Come on, please. Don't be wrong. Oh no. I don't like this. Oh no, I should have saved. And? What's the relevance of that, Trite? It's just a little intro. An intro to what? Seems all this has been an elaborate trick on the part of the defense. No! 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 Oh, fuck me, dude. No fucking way. I can't believe it. I can't. No! No! Should have saved a while back. I have to sit here and just...
hate this system. I hate this fucking system so bad. Why is it like this? Why did this video game do this back then? Why was this a thing? Why? Fuck me. Dude, just... Video games, man. Video games. This system is so fucked. This game... Man, I gotta say, I don't know what glutton for punishment kids were back in the day. These people that just swear by this game in the series. If I was a kid and I was playing this on the DS, even with all the much more free time I had, I'd be so pissed if this happened to me. I'd be pissed enough where I'd put it down and be like, I'm not playing this game anymore. I'd be like, I'm not putting up with this shit. I would have quit back in the first game. Because I probably also wouldn't have been looking up answers back then. As a kid, I'd be You think I'm fucking, like, stubborn with video games now? I was even more stubborn back when I was younger. And I would be like, no, I'm not going to look up a guide for the answers to this. And then I would just be like, I would keep hitting, like, game overs. And I'd be like, this is fucking stupid. Oh, I'm so far back. Oh, I'm so pissed. What is the answer? What's the answer? Let's see. It's the fucking badge. God damn it. I just looked it up. Oh, it was the other thing I was looking at. But it made more sense to me to be the thing. The paper that says the fucking... Like, to me, the paper makes more sense as an answer. Fuck this game. I don't believe it. I need a word with the scenario writer. This makes just as much sense. It's an article from December 5th. It says I was trounced where my client was found. In all of the fucking times in this game where, like, more than one piece of evidence could be used as an answer to something, this should have just as much weight to this question at the bottom of the screen here as this piece of shit thing. Like, this makes just as much sense. This explains it. Bullshit. Bullshit, I say. I don't feel bad about looking up this answer because I already knew it. I already guessed it. It was the second thing I was picking.
What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such childish imitation.
Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as a victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me, just like this newspaper clipping points to. I'm so pissed.
What? That's
the truth.
But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here, this very court, a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I'd ever seen.
Rawr. Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Gulp. Hey. Forget about it, yeah? He said the thing. Forget about it, yeah? I wouldn't do something like that. Not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Have you no pride, sir?
Objection.
This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Trite, here in court, we deal with people's lives. Ugh. Mr. Godot is right. Your Honor, speaking for myself, I'm absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by memory without evidence to support it. No! If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. I'm gonna save because I don't trust this game anymore. It's fucked me over too many times. Circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. But we've come so far. You say impersonate Glenelg, you say impersonated you, but none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. Don't we need to have, like, fucking, Gumshoe come in with that? Wasn't he doing a thing? Gumshoe! Ha! Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get mauled. You've got that? All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Huh. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. If I just had one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence. Maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. This witness's cross-examination's over. You are free to go, Mr. Tigre. Nega Phoenix. Hold it, pal. I'm pretty sure this is... Your Honor, sir. Wait! Detective? Detective Gumshoe. Sorry it took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this, too. What is it, Detective? Our voices are somewhat similar. Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence. What? What? The fuck is happening in my courtroom? January 8th, 2:48 p.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 1. Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. Results? About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle. Oh, so, do you know who the prints belong to now? Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know. So, tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it. You bet. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. They're Firo Tigre's paw prints, alright. That's great. We've got them now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. It's kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on the bottle now. Huh? What? Why not? What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glenelg's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle really doesn't make any difference now. I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, never of any use. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. This was our last chance to help Maggie, and I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal. Detective? Gumshoe? Maggie? You've been working on something for me? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, I don't need to... Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know... Plus, I've said this half-jokingly before, but
I'm gonna say it again, non-jokingly. We all know the real pair to Gumshoe is Edgeworth. And maybe Gumshoe is turning to Maggie because he's like, you know, Edgeworth has been gone this whole game. Edgeworth spurns him constantly. But we all know Gumshoe really loves Edgeworth, so this is all just meaningless to me, you know? It's just fake.
I know you didn't do it, and I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hair now. Bye.
Detective Gumshoe, wait! He's gone.
Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick?
I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. Small bottle put into the bucket. Covered in for your Tigre's fingerprints. I'm just gonna zoop right back into the courtroom. It's weird. Why did we ever come out? What? Whatever. I'm not gonna think about it too hard. January 8th, 3:04 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor?
I granted you a recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered.
Oh, that's what I was missing. Okay. Yes. Don't keep us all in suspense, Trite. Show us. Naturally, we can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we?
Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. But yous lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion. No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you'll talk us through it, Mr. Wright.
Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here. But maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, maybe I should save the game. He'll let his guard down a bit.
Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final, decisive piece of evidence to the court.
Do I just show this? I mean... Here goes nothing. This is the defense's final piece of evidence.
Isn't that the victims?
Your Honor, naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We've clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigre. What?
But, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information?
Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains, except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark.
My prints are on that pansy-looking bottle? Is that what you saying? Well, the hell's in it anyway?
A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tigre, this is a decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains... So it's phony, so I'm potentially going to lie about it, right? So it would be ear medicine, but I'm going to say this, right? This bottle contains potassium cyanide.
Potassium cyanide?
Poison used to murder Mr. Elk, Your Honor. Victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? Ha 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 ha. You'd make a good clown, you know that? What? Yous ain't never gonna get this to stick. You's just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger? A bluff? I can see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it. No. This is the bottle we found traces of the poison in. Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. Cyanide bottle was brown. It was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it. Oh, he said too much. Everyone's just like, Got him. At last. What? Why is everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle. Is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle cyanide was in. But yous ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell them, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go. I thought that was fucking Godot saying that, and then I thought it was Phoenix saying it. I was very confused. You still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said? What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. You just don't know who you's messing with. I'm the Tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped up suit get the better of me? Sure. Last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. Phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all. Grrr. Rawr. I'm a tiger. Rawr. What? Oh fuck, he was banished to the Shadow Realm. What? What's going on? It looks like a blackout. Oh shit. Well done, trite. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. That's good. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey. Oh, I thought it was gonna, like, black out and then he was gonna try to, like, escape or something. I thought that's what was happening.
Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. But if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Fucking hilarious. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godot?
He is being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glen Elg, Your Honor.
Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird, change her last name all of a sudden, was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney.
Yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake.
Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Furio Tigre is a truly frightening criminal.
Huh. The truly frightening one is that, defense attorney over there. Godot. Godot!
Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bride, not guilty! Yay! That is all. This court is adjourned. Go away.
January 8th, 4:10 p.m. District Court. Defendant lobby number 1.
Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. But now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger.
Look, Nick, in the doorway.
Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal.
Oh, wait.
Detective Gumshoe? Oh yeah, congratulations, Maggie. Thanks. I knew you were innocent all along. Why didn't you say that in your testimony then? Huh? Oh, well, I was... What? Oh shit, I missed it. Oh fuck, oh god. No, 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 no. I pressed the button too quick. I was, let me see. Well, guess I'll be at, oh fuck, I fucked up. I don't know. I don't know what it said. It went by too quick. Wait up, detective, he just ran off. I don't know if I accidentally pressed too quick or it was supposed to disappear quick. I don't know. Who can say? Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got this medication bottle. It wasn't even of any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. He's a fucking idiot. Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie? You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all this. I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me. That's why. He thought I might have done it. Gotta prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. Old bags! It's the gag that'll never die. I will... If there's one thing I'll take away from this series, it'll be me just saying, oh, it's old bags, and then scroll over to the old bags profile. I just wish I had it. I don't have it. Okay, it's gotta be this. Huh. He just throws it at her. Take that! Here you are, a present to celebrate your freedom. That's a present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love. He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe? I actually really like weenies. I'm so immature. You know? Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. Yeah, trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Oh boy, did it. Is it okay if I eat this now? Adorable. Eat those little weenies. So, how is it, Maggie? It's really good. Yeah. So the case of Phony versus Genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And, who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. Episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout. The end. Another episode done. Oh god. I feel, I don't know what it is. These games just, like, it's supposed to be like, oh yeah, you did an episode, yeah, fuck yeah. And then I just feel like so just wilted by the end of the episode, or these episodes. Not the episodes of the streams, but the episodes of the fucking game. All right, let's predict. Let's look at this title little poster thing and try to assume what's going on. So fucking Edgeworth comes back. So that's exciting, right? We have the courtroom. We have him in it with a briefcase. I don't know. I can't really tell what's happening in
the bottom right. It's definitely a woman, it looks like. And then is she in a coffin? Is she in a trunk of a car? And then the most bizarre one for last, the top right, on this bridge over a chasm, some strong man looking person, some very top heavy looking man, a little girl, and then someone with a gun. That's bizarre. Turnabout Beginnings is what it's called. How exciting. This almost took 3 hours to finish the rest of this episode. I'm not going to go into episode 4 like I thought maybe I possibly could have, but that's fine. That means we have just 2 episodes left of this dang series for me. It's almost over. It's almost over. I can see the conclusion at the end of the tunnel.